Any questions? We already got one. Nice. Thanks for stopping in, Carnegie. I appreciate you stopping in and listening to my talk. So, do pentesters make good red team members? I would say a lot of red teamers do. They come from a pen test background, and I would say the best red teamers do come from a pen testing background. But you don't have to come from a pen testing background to become a red teamer. There's plenty of people that skip over pen tester and go straight into red teaming. And if that's what you want to do, by all means, go for it. And a lot of red teamers, they do red team engagements and pen tests because red team engagements are very sophisticated. Like I said, you're emulating actual threat actors, and there's not a lot of clients out there for that because let's be honest, most most small medium businesses aren't sophisticated enough for a red team, and a lot of the times they'll ask for a red team. They think they want a red team, but they really need a pen test. So even full-time red teamers, they still do pen tests. So um yeah, pen testers absolutely make good red teamers. It's a great starting point in my opinion, if you got the pen test fundamentals, then you can become a great red teamer. But there are people that have skipped over that. How do you start the hacking journey and stay focused? That's a good question. So you need to look at the angle. You got to keep the angle in mind. So for me, I wanted one thing that keeps me going in my career is financial freedom. And I know they say that you shouldn't get in this field for the money, and I'm not in the field strictly for money, but that's one of my motivating factors. That's one of the things that really motivates me. Um, Now I do have a passion for the field, obviously, but what keeps me leveling up day in day out is the financial incentive. You do make good money in this field, and another thing is it's competitive, man. There's pen testing is actually probably the most competitive cyber role that there is because everyone wants to be a cool hacker, and not that many people want to be defenders. And there's actually way more blue team and cyber defense positions open compared to offense security and pen testing. So your chances of breaking in to pen testing is a lot lower than on the defense side. I'm not saying that to discourage you. I'm just saying the facts. And when I say that, that should be your motivation. You're competing against thousands of other people for the same one spot. And if you are on the couch playing video games and your competition, the person that's applying to the same position that you're applying to, and you're playing video games and they're hacking, who's going to get the job? Think about it. So whether you like it or not, you are in competition with other people in the field, and if that doesn't motivate you, then I don't know what will. If you're not motivated to do it day in and day out, and then this field might not be for you because you have to naturally want to be here. And like I said, you are going to be in competition against other people. Other motivation factors for other people would be like their family. I don't have a family, so that's never been one. But you just need to figure out what motivates you, and you need to triple down on that. What do you mean about align building pen test project with Python? I'm not sure what this question means. Align building pen test project with Python. I'm not entirely sure what you mean, but building projects with Python is really beneficial. And like I said, I did 100 days of code. I built several games and a lot of small projects when it comes in Python, and I documented the whole journey. Absolutely critical to my success in the field. So anytime you can build a project or a tool that helps you in your pen testing journey, absolutely do that. And it doesn't have to be Python; it can be any programming language, by the way. Can you tell us about pen testing job interview and what recruiters are looking for? Yeah, so the thing with interviews that a lot of people kind of get wrong is they try to memorize like everything. And don't do that. Don't memorize everything. You don't want to sound like a robot. the thing is, you want to be yourself. I know that's cliche, but you really do want to be yourself because a lot of companies, if you're lacking in skill, if like you got the right attitude and they like you as a person, there's a chance that they'll hire you over someone that's more qualified, someone that has more skills. So be yourself and never lie in the interview. And because, like I said, you if the employer doesn't like you or the people you work with doesn't like you, that's you're just not gonna like it there. So if they cut you out of the hiring process and they reject you, they're probably doing you a favor. Just keep that in mind because you don't want to work with people that don't align with your values and your mentality. But when it comes to interview questions, don't memorize them. Just I never really prepare for interviews that way. The thing that you really need to get the right is just like your introduction. When they say, "Tell me about yourself," talk about your professional accomplishments. Don't be like, "Yeah, I got 3 kids and 4 cats, and I like to rollerblade on the weekends." Like, to be honest with you, the employer does not care. So you really want to get into like what makes you qualified for that position. So, for example, I get an interview. I'm like, "Yeah, my name's Kyser Clark. Currently work in cyber defense operations. I've been doing it for 6 years. I'm transitioning out of the military, so that's why I'm looking for this job. And I have a high passion for pen testing and ethical hacking because I find the thrill of breaking the systems really fun, and that's what made me want to get in this field. And I don't have a lot of pen testing experience, but I have all these hack the box machines. I have all these try hack rooms I did. I have these certifications. I have these videos on YouTube, and that that'd be an introduction that I would do. But yeah, what could be a good starting point for someone interested in blue teaming? So I would refer you back to these 2 videos if you are interested into that, on my YouTube channel. But in a nutshell, the path is very similar. You start it's almost identical to a pen tester or a red teamer, at the beginning because the foundational skills are the same universally across the board. And so if we come back here to step Step 4, the path is exactly the same. I would just sub out CompTIA Pentest Plus for the CYSA Plus. That stands for Cybersecurity Analyst. And like I said, you don't need to have the certification. It's just the skills. So the foundations are the same across the board, and that's where I would start at. And then get your CYSA Plus, and then instead of getting um, these hands-on pen testing and hacking certifications, go get hands-on blue teaming certifications. They're coming out with hands-on blue teaming certifications that aren't multiple choice. Go after that. TCM Security, Hack the Box, Offsec, the companies that have these certifications, they also have blue team certifications. So that's where I would point you to. So I would just sub out the pen test certifications for blue team certs, and the path is basically the same because the skills you need Linux, you need to learn how to code. The skills are universal.